subsequent episodes. So you stay tuned and look out for that, right? Well, in the meantime, keep your questions, keep your feedback coming, keep all of your contributions. I am really excited to hear from you. Okay, then, so I'll go on a short break. When I come back, we'll dive right into today's episode. Don't touch that dial. It's going to be a very insightful section. I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Baby, you're the one who held me up.
Real estate market insight and industry trends. Join Amara on the Ninja Landlord Show, where we show you how to make real estate work for you. For different investments, strategies from real estate experts on Ninja Real Estates. Elevate your financial education and investment in Nigeria. So tune in every Saturday on VOP 90.3 from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Ninja Landlord Show, the voice of real estate in Nigeria.
Okay, welcome back to the Ninja Landlord Show here on VOP 90.3 FM, and I'm super excited. And today we're talking on a very valuable topic, like I mentioned earlier, which is talking about what we saw recently on the news, where we're talking about the rents, right? So here in Lagos, a topic which has to do with Lagos State says pay monthly rent in Lagos under new government reform. Your take, all right? So that's what was in the news recently. In a move to make housing more affordable and reduce the financial strain on residents, the Lagos State government has unveiled a new rent payment policy that allows tenants to pay rent in more flexible installments. Under the new structure, tenants can now choose to pay their rent on a monthly, quarterly, or yearly basis up to a maximum of 1 year in advance. This initiative is designed to accommodate the financial realities of tenants while promoting fairness in the housing market. Okay, so this announcement was made by the Lagos State Commissioner for Housing, Mr. Moruf Akenduru Fatai, alongside the Special Advisor to the Governor on Housing, Mrs. Barakat Ogunuga Baraka. I beg your pardon, Bakari. So they emphasized that the reform follows a series of meetings with key stakeholders, including the Estate, Rent and Commission Agents Association of Nigeria. The state government also raised concerns over certain unethical practices in the real estate sector, such as sudden rent hikes and the enforcement of illegal charges by some agents. These actions contradict the Lagos State Real Estate Transaction Law, which caps agents' commission at 10% per transaction. So this is, recently in the news about the new pay monthly under the new government reform. Now we've been having a lot of reforms, especially in Lagos State, that has a high rate of housing demand here in the state, and a lot of changes and a lot of reforms we had, a few years ago, whereby the government banned the fact that you couldn't, take 2 years rent, as a landlord or as a tenant, pay 2 years of rent, and so this has been in place. Although some people have said that, they did not see that effect. They still are being asked to pay 2 years rent, and especially some people who do not even know about this law in place, right? And so they've been taken advantage of. But the government is also still moving ahead to make it a little more easier on the tenants, on renters, and so to be able to afford the accommodation and the rents across the state. And that is why they put this new government reform that allows tenants in Lagos to pay monthly and also quarterly, as the case may be, or at the maximum a year in advance. And so this is to make it more affordable, the housing more affordable, and the costs more bearable for the tenants and renters alike. And so I don't know if this is something that you're aware of, this is or something that already you are practicing in your location, in your space, your accommodation where you're living, or where you're renting for your place of work or place of business. So this is something that I would like us to discuss about, and I'm putting the phone lines. Let me know if there's something that is possible, or if there's something you can broach with your, bring up with your landlords, your landlady, and see if something that can be implemented in your location. So yes, I'm opening the phone lines. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903, or you can also send me a WhatsApp chat or call us on the WhatsApp line 081 71756 338 081 71756 338 0700 again 903 903 903. All right, that's the number to call. Okay, so let me hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think, and if this is something that you think you can ask your landlord, your management to allow you to do, and if there's something that I think it's functional for you, if it is sustainable, it's something that you do, or would you prefer to pay a year in advance. So yeah, I would like to hear your thoughts, all of that. Okay, all right, so I'll go on a break. When I come back, the phone lines are open. All right, and if you have any WhatsApp chats, I'm already on my WhatsApp looking at the chat, and I'd like to hear from you as well. So send me your WhatsApp chats, and of course we'll respond to you immediately. All right then, stay tuned, and I will be right back.
For real estate market insight and industry trends, join Amara on the Naija Landlord Show, where we show you how to make real estate work for you. For different investments, strategies from real estate experts on Naija Real Estates. Elevate your financial education and investment in Nigeria. So tune in every Saturday on VOP 90.3 from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Naija Landlord Show, the voice of real estate in Nigeria.
welcome back to the Niger Landlord Show here on VOP 90.3 FM. And we're talking about the pay monthly rent in Lagos under the new government reform. Your take, right? So we're looking at the news updates, especially in the real estate market, and looking at what has been going on recently in the industry, and how you can take advantage of the opportunities available in the industry, and what you should know, how it can help guide your decision, your decision making, and building a profitable portfolio for yourself. All right, so this was on the news recently, and I talked about this parts about the government helping the renters to be able to make this monthly payment here in Lagos. Now, this new rent model aims to deter exploitative rental practices. All right, we've seen a lot of exploitation going on in the market because of the high demand here in Lagos State, and then we see tenants being asked to pay, even as much as 3 years in advance, just because of they are in need of this accommodation, they are in need of this spaces, and so this breeds a lot of room for exploitation, and then we see a lot of people losing their money, being swindled of their hand-earned money, because a lot of people have paid for that same property, and then you have to start looking for how to get your money back from the property owners. And so this is why the government is bringing these practices in place to curb this exploitation practices. The government is bringing this reform in place to curb it and make it more affordable, and real estate markets much easier for the renters to be able to navigate. And another aim of this new model is to make housing more affordable, right? Make housing more affordable for you and for your business, right? Or for your office spaces. So this is the reason why the Lagos State government is putting this in place, making housing more affordable, and when you were able to do business in a conducive environment, taking out the high cost of housing and a high cost of accommodation, and then also look at the balance, the rights and obligations of both landlords and tenants. All right, so now this is to help balance both the obligation of the landlords and the tenants, right? Because now you do not have the upper hand as the owner of the property. You're not going to say, okay, because I am the owner, I decide how much I want to collect it, and in how many months I want to collect it. All right, so it's a fair game, right? And the tenant also have a right to when and how much he can pay, and to as to how many months he can pay based on his income, right? It doesn't have to become an unfair market. It becomes a balanced market and makes it much more easier, and the rights of both the landlord and the tenants are being observed in this situation. All right, and also it encourage this model aims to encourage steady and reliable rent payments, because the rents are so high, and rents have increased across board over the last 2 years. To make this much more easier and bearable for the tenants, for the renters to be able to pay, it will be easier, much better if you are able to pay your rent monthly or quarterly, right? Then you have to start looking for that huge sum to put together. Of course, yes, there's the option of you having to save up for your rent over the months, but it will be much easier if you can do this monthly, and you do not have that burden or that pressure of putting the funds away. And that way, if there's any emergency, you're easily able to handle that emergency. You're easily able to pay your rent while also handling that situation, that financial situation that might come up, right? Okay, so like I said, the phone lines are open. I'd like to hear what you think about this, if this is a great idea, if this initiative is a good step in the right direction. I want to know what your thoughts are and if this is sustainable here in the States, and if this should also be, emulated across board across the states. Okay, I have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, my name is Joshua Popkins. I'm calling from First Stack.
All right, Joshua, good to have you. Let's hear your thoughts, please.
If I get your line of thought on the last note you just made mention of, that means if a tenant is supposed to pay a year rent, is going to spread it in 200
Into
200,000 naira for a month, you say?
if he's paying like 1 million, or if he's paying like how much?
1 million naira.
Yeah.
Is going to be paying 200 naira, 200,000 for a month, right?
No, because it's 12 months.
Yes, it's 12 months.
Yeah. So my math is not so good. So when you do the math, does it come up to 2?
Now, this is it. I want to believe that it's a good initiative anyway.
Yeah.
Some realtors and house owners have thought that in my locality back then in Bayelsa, because paying rent have been an issue
Yeah.
there also. But you see, the state government, one thing I have problem with, it's not coming up with good ideas. It's ensuring that they have enforcers of these ideas to ensure that both parties get fair hearing.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of laudable innovations from government, whether in the center or in the state, but we barely cannot see all those laws in place.
Yeah.
And you know the judicial system is already bought. Imagine having a problem with the state government, or probably his son, or probably anybody related to the government, and this particular law is in place. How do you think the tenant will have a reprieve when it's dealing with the people that caused the shot in Lagos?
Yeah.
You look at it from this perspective. Now in First Stack, you get a room self-contained for 1 million naira.
Mm-hmm.
The salaries are not increasing. I don't think the state government is doing anything with regard, because there are a lot of people sleeping outside, and the salary of their workers have not increased. How much is 70,000 naira in today Nigeria? Can then, with this particular initiative, what are the steps that the government have put in place to ensure that this particular initiative works? If not for the support, which as a matter of fact I don't think the government would do that. Let's see that this law works with every tenant and landlord alike.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know many landlords in First Stack, many of them will not agree to it, even if you take them to the state court.
Yeah, but
they will win.
No, I don't think so, because it is a law. So even if you take them to the court, they can't win, because it's been, it's a law already. It's part of the constitution. They cannot just swindle you of your money and say no. They have to make their own law, right? So if you go through the right legal paths, definitely, yeah. It might cost
You know,
money, but yeah.
Many of you people that come on air trying to encourage people to go by the law, it is not what is written. Most of these initiatives, they are on paper. In reality, it is not like that.
I understand. Yeah.
Do you know the corner of the street I'm calling you from?
No.
And you know the Nigeria we are now, anything goes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe the government, even though, in fact, this particular initiative is long thought of. My own challenge has been, if this particular law, having all, I know that they are going to do building structures. I've seen the paper in most houses, and I believe they have their data. I want to I want to of those initiatives. Just as they have gone around spread the paper to make sure that the buildings are well and they avoid collapse. Let them put such circular and make sure that landlords abide by this. That's my take on this.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Joshua, for calling, and I really appreciate your contribution. All right. So yes, he raised a very valid point right there, saying that it's one thing to implement this initiative and putting this new reform. Okay, I have another caller. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Welcome to the show. What's your name, please?
Morning. Okay, I'm Israel.
Hi, Israel.
Okay.
Let's hear your talk.
Okay. Most challenge people are facing concerning this real estate property in Lagos. Mostly, some people thought maybe it's agent. Sometimes, all these lawyer, they are not really valuer, so they don't know how to value property. So some of them, for them to acquire property, they will tell some owner they will pay. Fix this thing like this, they collect.
Yeah.
So most time, if you meet a real property value, I work with some valuer because I'm into real estate for some years.
Okay.
So if you meet a valuer, they value property to the rent. But we in Nigeria, when you give people some idea, they say they work with that person who give them the wrong idea, increasing rent. So some people, they know, okay, I cannot afford this particular rent. They go and acquire the property. Tomorrow, they start having issue with some landlord. That is why you see some landlord. Before, some landlord don't even deal with lawyers. It's even some tenant that raise all this issue. People start giving property to lawyers. So most time, even when sometimes people will tell the government, if government build high-rising building in mode of they are selling it for 17 million. Tell me, if you buy a property for 17 million, how many years will it take you to acquire that property? It will take you no less, at least like 18 years. So it's not a good investment. So people are talking about government in Nigeria. I just said you are not eating the news on the head. So the government too, they are not playing their part. So when you talk about government in Nigeria, you are missing it out. So on this real estate, we have some people who they don't even practice the work. They don't have idea. They will tell some owner, if the property this amount, they will pay. And they don't even have idea. They don't know anything about it. And when you meet the Nigerian people, they meet the real people, go to their office, they will just call any agent. I need the property. Tomorrow they start ranting, agent are useless people. Madam, sometime I will tell you, you might have a brother want to buy property. They will say, put 10 million on top of it. Tomorrow the blame goes to the agent. So who will you blame in such situation like that? So when Nigerian people start analyzing, saying agent, they are this, blah, blah, blah. Every profession adds, they have bad eggs. But agent just be as if maybe they are the crafty, maybe in Nigerian problem. So sometimes when I advise some landlord, because me myself, I pay my shop rent, I pay my house rent. So if people say agent, I advise some landlords, some years, some don't hear. I mean some lawyers who are they are not hungry lawyers. I have a lawyer in a mode of him. If I can tell you his name, because the lawyer does not practice even his legal practice any longer. He's even an agent now because he's rich, but he's an hungry. I call some of them hungry rich people. So when people talk about Nigeria, we should be directing ourselves. So when you talk about government, we should forget about that. Amodofina studio apartment in Amodofina, Apollo government said it's 27 million before. 10 years back, if you buy a property within 10-15 years, you're supposed to realize the money. But now if you buy a property of 200 million, tell me if you have like maybe 6 tenants, how can you realize that money? The next 30 years, you've never realized the money.
Yeah.
So let Nigerian people see that and don't just, I don't follow crowd when people start talking. Don't see that and realize the word before you just start shouting agent. Many people are agents. Today, madam, tomorrow you might want to buy property. You tell, hey, Israel, put 5 million for me. So who is the problem? Is it not all of us? So we too, we are part of the problem. Some clients, I will give them out. Some want to rent out. They will say, put my 100,000. I will say, go and scout, go and do that job if the job is easy. So sometimes I will have issue with some of my clients. I give property. So we should search ourselves really in Nigeria. People should stop ranting agent. So many people are part of the problem in Nigeria we are facing today. You understand? Yeah. Sometimes even right now the job irritates me when I hear the way people insult agent. The job now irritates me. I learn some other professional course, some professional job I do now. Because the real estate is something else. Everybody said I'm an agent, I'm an agent. They don't even know how to even, if you want some of them, they don't even have certificate, they don't know anything about the job. When you ask them, I'm an agent, I'm an agent. If you tell some people come to my office, they say, where's the property? Let's meet there. It's own profession. And they like working with those unprofessional people. How can you be dealing with somebody you don't even know where about? Hey, send me a picture, do this one. Someone will say, come, let's see, let's analyze. Tell me what you really want, let's discuss. Someone will just send you a message, this is what I want. So let Nigeria stop calling government, because the government, many of them are into this real estate. And they don't want the price to be dropping. So let people stop calling government to say about this thing, say about this thing. They are just missing it out. Government property, you cannot afford it. So let people just forget about government. Just we need to work on ourselves. I work with good lawyers and good landlords. In my estate now today, I know one lawyer. He work in first like he will tell some lawyer landlord. I will advise him, but he don't listen. We get a room apollo for 2.5. You see some of all these young people and all these people in abroad. They are the problem what we are facing in Nigeria today, because they convert the dollar, they don't feel it. Some of them will get 2 bedroom for 3.5 million. Put only the wife there because they convert the naira, and insecurity of Lagos State now is even letting the apartment to get higher because mainland is congested now.
Yeah.
So we don't have much apartment in the mainland. That is why mainland is going higher more than the island currently now. So let's even government want to work, they should scrub.
Let you go so I can take
Okay.
Thank you so much. You have
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Israel. Yes.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So yeah, I mean, he's made a lot of points, and I cannot agree more. I mean, the real estate market is really unregulated. It's heavily unregulated here in Nigeria, and we see a lot of unprofessional practices happening in the industry. It's not just about the government, like he said. I mean, the government has their part to play, but I mean, the players in the industry, the stakeholders in the industry, the landlords, the investors, the renters, they all also and the agents, the lawyers, they also have their own role to play. And then when we are introducing fraudulent practices into the industry, it goes into shine a bad light on all the practitioners in the industry. And I mean, a lot of people will be wary to come into the market, and they don't even know the right way to navigate the market. I mean, if you're looking to buy a property, you do not even know who is the professional anymore. And I must say that I mean, not all lawyers are property lawyers. I mean, the law is very vast, right? And we have different lawyers that have different niche that they are based on, that they specialize on. So as someone who's coming into the market, you're looking for a lawyer to help with your transactions, I would always advise look for a property lawyer, right? One who is vast in the real estate market, that will be able to give you a professional advice and help you in your transactions as you go ahead to purchase that property. All right, so the number to call once again is 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903, and our WhatsApp line. You can also reach us on our WhatsApp. The number is 081 717 56338 081 717 56338. Let me hear your thoughts. I can't wait to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts on this valuable topic that we are talking about here today. All right, so I'll be going on a short break. Stay tuned. When I come back, we'll talk more on this topic. Okay, welcome back to the Niger Landlord Show here on VOP 90.3 FM. It's good to have you. It's good to be here, talking on this valuable topic. I hope you've gotten value so far, and I'm very excited. And I thank every person who has called. Your contributions have really been insightful, and yes, keep them coming. I want to hear more from you. So we're talking about the pay monthly rent in Lagos under the new government reform. And we're looking at your take, right? What do you think about this new reform, the pay monthly rent in Lagos? And we've looked at some of the issues that might arise from this new initiative. And yes, some persons have spoken about the challenges, and which are valid, and I know that it's something that we need to really get to the bottom of it, and even seek more expert advice on this topic, right? So that's what I'll be doing in the subsequent episodes, future episodes. I'll be bringing some experts that can tell us where are the right channels and the right places, the right government structures, offices that we can go to make sure that these initiatives are being implemented in our location, in our places, right? Because it's one thing to have this law, like the first caller talked about. It's one thing to have this law in place. It's another for it to be applicable for you to be able to for it to be implemented in your location, in your space, right? You can have it, and what if the other party is refusing to acknowledge it? And so we need to have enforcers and government agencies that could help us and help your rights to be established and help you to enforce this law. And so yes, so stay tuned for that. I'll have some lawyers coming in subsequent episodes. So we're looking at the Estate Rent and Commission Agents Association of Nigeria, ECAN. So ECAN President Mr. Godwin Aleke expressed the association's full support for the policy and assured the public that ECAN will work collaboratively with the government and other stakeholders to uphold industry standards and professionalism. Overall, these reforms marks a step forward to a more transparent, fair and accessible rental system in Lagos, with benefits for both property owners and renters alike. Alright, so now this is the president of the Estates Rents and Commission Agents Association of Nigeria. Now Israel, who called earlier, said we have a lot of unregulated agents in this industry, right? So people who do not have any business being in this industry, and they have been the one making this market very difficult to navigate, bringing in their fraudulent practices and not being professional in their work and their transactions. And so we have an association that's the agent that governs these agents, and this association has guidelines for any agent that you're working with. And so if you're dealing with any agent, you should be able to know, is this person qualified, is this person registered, does this person have a license to operate? Well, in as much as the fact that there are people not checking this, it doesn't mean that you who wants to part with your money shouldn't go ahead to check out and find out if you're dealing with a professional in the industry, right? And the president has expressed that the association is fully in support of this policy, and has assured the public that the association, the ECAN association, will work collaboratively with the government and the other stakeholders to uphold the industry standards and professionalism and make sure that your rights are protected. All right, yes, your rights are protected in this market and in your transaction, in your dealings here. So now this reform, like I said earlier, is a major step. It's a huge step to subsequent to the changes that we are looking at in the future. It's a major step to a more transparent market, more transparent industry in the real estate market, making it a fair market, making it accessible for any person who wants to engage in the industry, making it accessible for you to get rent and able to accessible to come into the system in Lagos, right? And then I think that this reform and the benefits that it provides property owners and renters alike should also be should also be translated to other states, right? Other states should emulate this reform, and it should be implemented, because of course we have also high cost of rent spread across other states, not just here in Lagos, right? So this is what I would say that other states should come together and implement as well. Right, so that's all we have for today. My time is almost up, and if you have any questions, you could send me a message, right, a WhatsApp chat message directly to my line. The number is 080-6463-7377. 080-6463-7377. Yes, you can send me that message, and if you have any questions on your real estate journey, building a real estate portfolio, I'll be happy to answer your questions. And of course, I would also love to hear your feedback, for the future episodes, what you would like us to talk about. Please send me all of your feedback. I love hearing from you. All right, that's it for today. Oh God, that's it for today. Okay, I got a call, but I'm sorry, I can't take it. Okay, so just send me a message. It's better, please. All right, my time is almost up, and so I'll be back same time next week, like I promised, with some experts to talk more on this insightful topic. All right, so till I come your way next week, just stay blessed, have a beautiful weekend, and my name is Amara Onsrike. Take care and see you next weekend.